What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Schnews. Today we're going to be catching up on some interesting sneaker stories that have been developing over the past few days. I want to start off by talking about the sneaker that's just been dominating headlines left, right, and center. It has revivified, I want to say, the energy in the sneaker community of late, and that's the Air Jordan 1 bands. Now, we have a few updates to talk about. First and foremost, Jordan Brand have jumped back onto the social media scene. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, it's been hard not to take notice of the massive marketing push that's been going for the band ones. Jordan Brand have taken to just banning everything, including themselves, from social media, their products from their websites, their staff on campus from wearing Air Jordan 1s. They've instituted this interesting nerdy character that is the main protagonist in issuing these citations or banning these products. And it's been bringing the nostalgia back around the energy that Nike used to put into their marketing campaigns back in the day. And their latest marketing video features a who's who of Jordan Brand's signature athletes and collaborators, with the storyline being what if they didn't pay the fine for the shoes. A whole bunch of what ifs play outs in this montage video featuring people like DJ Khaled or Travis Scott, Nigel Sylvester, a whole bunch of Nike's retail partners and collaborative partners, as well as some of their keynote athletes like Luka Doncic. And you've also got Jason Tatum on board as well. So it can't be denied, the marketing for this shoe has been fantastic. The excitement is palpable, and we've got a few updates with regard to stock numbers as well as stores. So let's start off with the UK. So these have loaded onto the Nike Sneakers app here in the UK and in the EU. The retail price is going to be £185 or around 190 odd euros, which is quite a pleasant surprise. All of that talk around this sneaker being $250 was one of the main points that had a lot of people put off this sneaker. Now, that's seeming like an absolute pittance compared to what a lot of people have been paying for these in the resale market, and we will talk about the resale prices in a moment because they have been starting to come down. Now, the numbers that I'm hearing rumors of on the Nike Sneakers app here in the UK and the EU is that there's supposedly something like 5K pairs on the Nike Sneakers app. I'm not sure if you guys over there in the US are going to be getting a Nike Sneakers app release. I think these could just be wheeling out via the stores that you guys should probably have already seen online. In addition to the Nike Sneakers app release, there's also 3 or 4 stores here in the UK that are going to be carrying products. One of which is Offspring, who ran a raffle for these pairs today. I think they've got a pretty big allocation because they've got a whole bunch of different stores that you can collect from. You also have BSTN, who ran a post yesterday on Instagram for you to actually be able to enter into the draw to win some tickets to go and pick this pair up early, as well as I think maybe the Black Toes as well. They're also going to be running a raffle, I think, the following week for the remaining pairs. But there's going to be a whole bunch of content. There's going to be heaps of excitement down at the store BSTN this coming Friday. Apart from those 2 retailers, I think it might just be Ends that are also going to be running a raffle here in the UK, and there might be one other one that I have forgotten. But yeah, Nike Sneakers app release, 3 or 4 retailers here in the UK. Still pretty limited, but definitely not as limited as we were initially thinking, with the rumors suggesting there was only going to be like 10K pairs, maybe worldwide, but 10K pairs I think is probably reasonable to imagine for the US, and then maybe for the rest of the world, another 10K pairs, something like that. But let's talk a little bit about how these numbers have started to affect the resale prices. Prices have been tumbling just in the last 24 hours, at least here in the UK. The early pair prices have been going down, down, and down. Yesterday, around this time, pairs in my size, a US 10.5, were up there for about £600. Now, you can buy them for £469. So that's a £100 drop overnight. Using the last sales data as an example in my size, there have still been pairs selling over the past few days for like £1,000, £800, £750. So I don't know if the announcements of all of the pairs here in the UK and the EU have affected resellers where they're just thinking, you know what, I need to dump these before the prices really dip down. But one thing that we can probably take a little bit of encouragement from is that there's more pairs available than we initially thought. I think there was a position a lot of people were holding like a week or two ago that these were going to be crazy limited and resale was going to be really high, prices were over a K. Now they're dropping down by the day, so I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to drop down closer to maybe the 350 pound mark, closer to the release dates. I'm not sure, but the good news is this sneaker is not going to be crazy ridiculous on the resale, so thank goodness for that. Now, the day after the bread's release on the 14th, Valentine's Day, you also have the black toe ones, and the black toe ones are a good shoe, solid shoe, and Nike decided to put a little bit of hype into them this week by chucking them on the feet of Travis Scott. So now that Travis has had them on feet and he's been pictured in them, you can guarantee that the hype is going to increase a little bit for this model. Now, this is obviously well positioned from Nike. I feel like they did this so that people that miss out on the breads are going to look to cop these as a bit of a consolation. It's good marketing, it's good product timetabling. I do feel like these are going to be popular, but I wouldn't be surprised if the black toes do end up sitting in a lot of places. Right, so we've had our first look at another pretty hyped up Air Jordan 1 set to come out later on this year, the UNC Reimagined. Dope sneaker. I mean, my pair from 2015 here pretty much looks like a reimagined sneaker, given the fact I've chucked in some cream laces and they've already enjoyed some good wear and oxidation. But yeah, let's just go through what we can see here. So we've got what looks to be the non-85 shape. These haven't been tooled up like the breads. These have the just normal, I want to say, Jordan tooling. You've got the oxidation on the midsole, the aged vintage look going on. Pretty decent leather around the toe box and the mid panels, and then pretty much like the Chicagos, as you can see, they've hit them with the cracked leather around the collar to give them that lost and found or aged look. So the release date is supposed to be May the 10th. Retail price $180. These early picks have them looking nice, have them looking clean, predictable. This is, I think, what we all were expecting from this release. And yeah, I mean, kind of see these going down the same route as the Chicago Lost and Founds, where they're certainly popular. They'll almost certainly sell out depending on how many units they want to make, but I don't think these will be a crazy reseller. I definitely don't think the hype on these is going to be as strong as the breads, for example. We've got this video here from round 2, which shows the Jordan 1 Low Swarovski collaboration, and we haven't even seen the leaked images or the partials or the potato pics. We've just come straight out pretty much with this detailed in-hand video, which has these looking spectacular. Obviously the color blocking is based on the shadow, the black and the gray color blocking. The Swarovski crystals are just everywhere, all over. They come with some pretty spectacular looking special packaging. Now in the post, I couldn't actually see whether or not there was any release dates information. I can't imagine they wouldn't want to sell these, because as spectacular as these look, they'll inevitably sell out and resell for a whole bunch of money. We were hearing rumors that these were going to be something like $1,000 or something like that. I could definitely see these selling out super quick and being really hype. I mean, we saw how popular, for example, the Tiffany Air Force Ones were a couple of years ago. These have the hallmarks of that written all over them, so no release date info at this time. So we've had a little bit of an update with regard to the Air Jordan 11 Rare Air that is set to be dropping a little bit later on this year, sometime in October. Previously, we'd had this mock-up to work off, which is kind of like an all-over navy colorway with a milky outsole, and what we're seeing now is a sort of inversion of the mesh upper, where it's gone from being this navy mesh to maybe a white leather, and then the patent is going to feature this deep navy, and then we've also got the cloudy outsole as well as the red Jumpman around the heel quarter. So clean looking sneaker, clean looking colorway. Not sure to what extent these are going to be made quite limited. We do have a pretty stacked up year when it comes to the 11s. In the weekend we spoke about these cold as ice 11s that have just surfaced, as well as the Gamma 11s. I don't know, it feels like a little bit of overkill for the Jordan 11 having 3 big bangers maybe in that holiday season, but at least from these mock-ups, I think these are looking pretty clean. So you guys might remember a little while ago we were talking about the Zion Williamson Voodoo 1 lows in this alternate colorway, or this completely different colorway to the first pair, and apparently these are going to be coming out. we're hearing now that the release date is set to be November the 19th. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like them as much as the original pair, but the details do go pretty hard, and it's kind of cool to see Zion Williamson back on court in the NBA. But yeah, I think these are pretty cool. What do you guys think? So in the weekend, Stephen Fulton fought, and he had on one of the best boxing fits I think I've ever seen. Honestly, he looked like a video game character, and I think what made the outfit stand out fantastically were these custom Timberland boots that he had knocked up by shoe surgeon. I mean, he literally looks the part here with the jean shorts and the Timbs and the socks. He looks like he's ready to rock straight off the streets in New York. So good win for him, back on the winning train again. Dope fits, great custom boots. I mean, all the way down to the loose laces. This was a W combo in my opinion. Right, so we've had a few very sneaky posts from a few noteworthy sneaker collaborators that have given us a sneaky glimpse at some upcoming sneakers. First and foremost, Action Bronson posted this top-down selfie or shoe selfie pic featuring his upcoming 990 V6 collaboration. We can see the Amazonia colorway, which looks pretty dope. There's also the other colorway that we have spoken a little bit about as well in the past. So these two I thought might be part of the pack. And then there's another colorway here as well in the mix. So maybe it's a trifecta of 990 V6s. Maybe one of these pairs is hyper limited friends and family or whatever. But I am liking the look of those pink joints, the Amazonias, as well as the pair that Bronson has on. I think those also look tough as well. We also saw a post by Union Los Angeles featuring Chris Gibbs holding a pair of the Union 1s to the ear, taking the phone call from Jordan Brand saying, bro, we should have brought these out years ago. And people have taken this to maybe be a little bit of subtle foreshadowing about the upcoming Chicago/Shadow Union collab that we're expecting to see soon. I've seen a whole bunch of different release date information about the sneaker. Some places have been putting the release date sometime in March. Some people have been saying the summer. I'm not sure, but if they're starting to, I guess, put the foreshadowing feelers out there now on the post on IG, it must be imminent. And then we have Hiroshi Fujiwara posting a picture of him with the Jordan 1 fragments on his head. Now I've seen a sneaker page here, Sneaker Atom, take the picture and then I guess reverse color grade it or whatever to give the shoe the maybe mixed up look of a Shadow/OG fragment. I'm not sure. I feel like this is probably just the original fragment from 2014 and he's now putting this sneaker on his head and posting it again to jump on the promotion with Nike and Jumpman and Jordan Brand. I feel like they're trying to just bring the energy from all angles right now, and who would blame them because they've got a lot of momentum. This is the stuff we're talking about right now. I feel like they would probably drop the Union collab first and foremost, let the dust settle on that, and then get the excitement going for the three-way collab maybe later on in the summer or something like that. I'm not sure, maybe the collaboration has changed, maybe Fujiwara is doing his own thing with Nike and then they're going to come together again further down that. I'm not sure, but here we go. And there we go. Those are some of the sneaky updates for your Schnews episode today. Make sure you guys keep an eye out for some of the sneaker raffles in your local area for the bands. Some of them could come and go pretty quickly, so the best thing to do if you really want to come up on those is just make sure you're hip, you're alerted to the local raffles by you, and just get in there and get involved because it's going to be a dope release. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care for now. Peace.